Hello and welcome to Stories, the True and the Fictional, the Indie Author Podcast supporting indie authors from all around the world. This episode is brought to you by Rebecca Castles of the Rising Dawn series. You too can become a sponsor by heading on over to buymeacoffee.com/STTATF or follow the link in the show notes. And now, let's get into the show. Warning. Listening to this episode may cause your TBRs to grow in size.
Hello guys and welcome to another episode of Stories, the True and the Fictional, the indie author podcast supporting indie authors from all around the world. I'm one of your hosts, Jay Bryden. With me always is our resident reader, Ryan. How you going, Ryan?
I'm living the dream, man, living the dream. Just plowing through those books. I've almost finished a sneak peek at a sequel that I'm looking forward to from a certain author. That is very, very, very good. I was expecting it to be good, and it definitely is. That's J.A. Bryden's sequel to Ancora. Am I allowed to say the title?
Well, that's a working title. It may not be that.
Okay, well, I won't say it then.
Yeah.
But it is great. It's dual perspective. I love dual perspective books. I'm reading a lot of them at the moment. And I am almost finished Timothy Robert, The Flame of... Jamie can edit this out. Yeah, it's not because I can't remember it. It's because it literally has a long, impronounceable name. Al-Madraz, I'm going to say, is worth. Timothy, if you're listening, feel free to correct me. But yeah, it is such a good book. It's a fantasy one, so it is a long one. So it is taking me a little while to get through, but it's very good. And last weekend, I saw probably the best horror movie I've seen in quite a long time. It is Evil Dead Burn, the finale in the current Sam Raimi Evil Dead trilogy. You guys will probably know the early one from Bruce Campbell, Evil Dead 2, and then Army of Darkness. That was started in the 70s. This one is, I've watched all three of them. They're all great, but Evil Dead Burn was amazing. The character development, they made you care about the characters and then ripped them away from you. And there was, for those of you who don't know, I'll give you a quick rundown. Evil Dead is usually a group of teenagers in the first movie, they find the Necronomicon, the Book of Death. They read, being stupid teenagers, drunk and high, they read the incantations which bring to life the Evil Dead spirits and can turn, if the character dies, they then come back as what's called a deadite, which is basically a zombie with full brains, and they then terrorize the rest of the people until they all die. Very, very good, very strong female protagonist. You really feel for her, and you want her to get out and to live, and it's just when you start caring about another character, good old Sam Raimi, they're gone. But yeah, fantastic movie. I had several of the horror authors we follow reach out to me on X, even though I already have my tickets for the movie. Janelle Schiecke, a few others said, look, you really need to watch this. And I'm very, very glad that I did. It is probably the best horror movie I've seen in the last couple of years. So if you're a horror fan, check out Evil Dead Burn. I believe it's still in cinemas at the moment.
Excellent. Guys, well, we're about to dive into a big episode with a whole lot of authors talking the dreaded marketing, and man, I think it went really well. I didn't have to say much, it was just like, bleh, and it was great.
Yeah. I mean, I use X as my author following platform, so that's generally where I interact with authors, and the one thing that they always talk about, and when they come on the podcast is, as an indie author, you are not only the author, you are the marketer, you are the PR, and how sometimes it can be a pain in the neck to do. And, some people end up spending a lot of money for nothing. And then some people find a miracle and it helps and it works. And that's why we wanted to do this episode. It's mainly set towards our fellow indie authors, but I was able to give a perspective from a reader on what works for me. So yeah, it was a great episode. I think we had the most people on of an episode.
Oh, I don't know. I think the world building episode was just as big.
Okay.
But, I'd have to count, but yeah. But
A lot of
anyway,
people,
yeah, and it was a lot of valuable information in there, guys. From all around the world. We had a few people from the States. We had a few people from our shores, which is.
I was very happy with the level of Australian to American authors. We had, I think, 3, 4, including yourself, 4 Australian authors, and then including myself, 1 Australian reader, and then 3 from the States. So yeah. And no surprise to our viewers, Michael Vadney was included.
Yeah,
he's starting to become the Samuel L. Jackson of our episodes.
That's it.
Which is great because he's amazing and he's a really talented writer.
Yeah, he's a great dude. And on that, guys, because I keep forgetting to plug it, I'm in an anthology called The Rings of Adventure with Michael Vadney, and it's a lot of fun. It's like a Advent thing. So it's not Christmas themed. The theme is around rings, and basically come September the Kickstarter launches, but then it gets released in December. Like pretty much 1 or 2 short stories a day will be delivered to you, and you get to kind of not be bombarded with them all at once, but you can read 1 a day or 2 a day, and it's going to be so much fun. I'll leave the link for the Kickstarter down below. I believe we just, at time of recording, passed 100 followers who are following the Kickstarter, so it's going to be huge. So keep an eye out for that. Also, keep an eye out for our sponsor, Rebecca Castles. Our honorary sponsors, Janelle Schiecke and Alexander Robb. All their links are down below. I will say this. I don't do it much. I'm 4 chapters away from finishing this, and my word, get ready for a I can't stop thinking about it. I put it down. I can't stop thinking about it. I'm at work. I'm going, oh, why am I at work? I took it on my trip to the city, my 2.5-hour trip to the city, and I read a chapter and I got train sick. But that's how committed I am to that story. So check out Alexander Robb and Ryan will definitely vouch for Janelle Schiecke. Not my genre stuff, but I can tell she's just a brilliant.
She is a very good horror writer. So make sure you check out her 4 books, and one of her books, Death Cult, which is her second release. Apparently something is coming more from that world soon, according to her newsletter. So check it out.
Check that out. And last of all, guys, buy some merch. We've got mugs. We've got shirts. And Ryan's got Living the Dream shirt, and there's a whole lot of stuff you can, and every bit of merch you buy, it helps keep the show going. That's if you're inclined to support us. And then I keep forgetting is also our Discord. Reach out to us there. We do a lot of organizing through that. That's where we post all our scheduling first. So it's first come, first serve. So yeah, reach out. We'll give you the link. But now, let's go talk Marketing 101. Hello everyone and welcome to the show. Boy, do we have a lot of people to talk to about. I mean, who figured there'd be so many people that wanted to talk about marketing? I mean, Ryan, how are you going? Did you expect this many people to want to talk about marketing?
No, I just thought everyone was on here because they wanted me to spend money on their books. It's like, I thought today's got to be a good one. We're doing 2 podcasts. The interview person, I already own his book, so I'm not going to spend any money. But then I see so many unfamiliar faces, so I probably will spend money on this episode. But I'm doing good, living the dream. On not much sleep, but I'm here. I have my friendly energy drink with me. If they want to sponsor me, that'd be awesome because I spend enough money on it. But yeah, looking forward to a good discussion on marketing. And I can give my perspective as a reader because I had lots of thoughts last night in relation to you guys might really hate marketing and everything, and I know it's a lot of work, but I mean, that's how I found the majority of the 210 indie author books I have currently on my Kindle. So, yeah.
And I don't know if you guys noticed the subtlety there. He lifted up the product and it was product placement. It's so easy to do sometimes, just to just let things pop up like that. That one's for you, Michael Bundy. But we will get to you in a second. First, I'm going to just go round my screen. So first time on the show, Laura Morris. Thank you for joining us.
Thank
How are you?
Fantastic. It's a coolish winter morning here on the Sunshine Coast, Queensland. So I'm a bit chilly.
That's right.
And it's
Um,
probably not as cold as it is when it's winter in America, but I'm feeling it.
It's all right. Just want to tell us a little bit about yourself. If you've got a book, I see there's one behind you on a big wall. This
That's
is
part
your
of my marketing.
this is your
Yes,
opportunity to market to Ryan.
yes. I am a debut author who has written a young adult dystopian novel set in Australia. It's YA and it is about an Australia where the Allies have lost World War II and Australia is not now divided by the wall, which is part actual wall and then part other defense systems. And the north is controlled by the Axis and the south by the Allies. But the Axis forces are slowly starving the south. And my main character is a 16-year-old girl called Tess, who's living in a country town. She meets a young boy who happens to have escaped from the north, and but he wants to go back. So I don't want to give too much away. That's the beginning part.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And
And
I
this is my book.
go see the flick. Michael Vadney is an expert at the flick. You'll see later. Um, and guys, I will leave the links down in the show notes, so please check that out. Cindy Breck, you've been on a few times, but you're back again. How are you?
I'm doing really good actually. Other than I do have vertigo, so that's a fun thing to have and everything, not being sarcastic there. But actually, like you, Laura, I write young adult and I just actually 2025 had my first book come out and my second book came out this year, 2026. I write mythic, mystery driven, romanticy, YA. Um, I I guess I like to live on the edge a little bit. I like to write about fractured lives and fractured worlds. And my character, Callie, she seeks to understand why she has fractured visions. But I like to use real historical settings in my story world so I could anchor um, a true legend or myth, or however you want to put it, about that center within my story world, and then tie it to something that's not so real, like a mythical creature or something. But anyhow, I write a dual world trilogy called the Theron series.
Excellent. I will leave that in the show notes, guys. And then now, Michael Vadney, you're back. We can't get rid of you. Show us the flick. Show us the flick.
All right, the magical flick, which I saw you do your own flick, by the way. That was
Yep.
an amazing flick. But yes, hello, folks. I'm Michael Vadney, author of Crownfall, this noble dark fantasy. Not my first time on this show. Probably won't be my last. They can't keep me away. I just keep knocking down the door. But yes, I wrote this book, came out earlier this year, and really excited to talk about marketing.
Excellent. I feel like you should probably mention the other thing that's coming out soon, that we're both a part of.
Yes, we also have an anthology that is coming out. It comes out in September is when the Kickstarter starts for Rings of Adventure. We're doing a advent calendar kind of release schedule for getting all these short stories out to you in the month of December. It is not a Christmas themed storytelling. It just happens to be at December, and it's a bunch of, we got sci-fi, we got horror, we got fantasy, we have a little bit of romance. So a little bit of something for everybody.
Excellent. Did you notice that did Mike Molman tell you his top 3 that he's read so far?
No, I did not know that. I haven't seen that one.
JCM Burns,
Yeah. Obvious. Joe's awesome.
mine, mine,
Nice.
and yours.
Oh,
As the marketing side to it, your short story he loved so much that he went and bought Crownfall.
oh my God, I didn't know that. I haven't
So-
heard this.
Yeah,
Wow, that's an honor. I'm gonna have to reach out to Mike and thank him.
yeah. It's on the all caps that I did with when I was on there with Mike Moldman and Jesse James Fain and Isaac Anderson.
Oh, I'm gonna have to go check that out. Thank you for
Check
telling me
that out.
about that.
Yeah, cool. Jessica, thank you for joining us.
Hello. Yeah, so I'm Jessica. My background is actually writing children's picture books. However, this year I released my first romance novel called Playing Fake, and it's about fake dating, love triangle, all the good stuff. And yeah, I'm excited to be here and talk about the joys of marketing.
Excellent. Now, John, if you're still there, driving around in your new car, how are you?
I am. I am well. I am in such a weird, awkward, bad timing / good timing position to do this podcast because, yeah, like I said, I have had a whirlwind of events happen to me. So I am trying to figure out the buttons of my car. You're probably hearing car noises now, which I apologize for. But anyway, yeah. So I'm happy to be here, and I'm happy. I live in Texas, so it's very hot here, and I'm happy to hear so many other YA authors on here because I myself write young adult sci-fi adventure superhero action stories, and that's first love. And I write about I wanted to put my own spin on the superhero genre, which is this little genre that not a lot of people explore, you know what I mean? So, uh, but excuse me, I'm trying to do my pitch as I'm like trying to figure out a new car and just trying to parallel park. It's all a big mess right now for me. Great first impression. So, anyway, you probably think, or is every Texan like this? I'm like, not too far off. We're all crazy. Anyway, so yes, in the books, the Eric Icarus series, it is about a 14-year-old boy who lives in a futuristic city full of tech-based heroes. Think more like guys with Batman type gadgets or Iron Man type suits, that kind of thing. And this boy Eric, discovers one day he has the if I can talk, this is why I write instead of talk, the miraculous natural ability to fly, and he basically has to make sure he's not a lab rat because every other science focused person in this entire city would want to study him and cut him open and see why does he have a real power when everyone else has to rely on gadgets and whatnot. So in order to blend in, he hides in plain sight. He decides to become a member of the local superhero team, and it's uh, fake hero, real powers, and he tells the world he has an anti-gravity backpack that gives him his abilities, so no one will ask any questions. But he finds out the danger is very real, and I am on a podcast thing right now thinking I have so many people coming out the woodworks trying to buy my book. Oh my gosh, can you believe it? So anyway, I'm trying to just run down my elevator pitch while trying not to like freak out and be like, am I parked correctly? Am I going to get a ticket? It's just a big thing going on right here. But anyway, I really appreciate you having me on
That's right.
in my crazy state that I wish I could say I wasn't always the scatterbrain, but it's kind of the norm. But anyway, I do appreciate being here.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. And lucky last, Charlotte, thank you for joining us.
Hello. I'm guessing you just got an EV, John, because my husband just did the same, and it was the same thing of like, what do all the buttons do? Like,
It's it's not, but
Oh.
still, I still don't understand anything. But yeah,
Yeah, it's always the way with a new car, whether the wipers are on the other side or it's always a bit good fun. But anyway,
yes.
hi, I'm Charlotte. I write under the name CK Scott. I am a relatively new author. I published my debut book, Heart of the Human, last year in November. I think it was November. This is a romantasy and it is an adult book. Basically, I got back into reading after the birth of my twins, and then I got sick of the fact that every character was 19 and pretty naive and made some very annoying decisions. And so I thought, why don't we write about somebody who is a mum? And so basically, this is Josephine, who gets trapped in a different world and has to try and navigate that world and find her way back to her twins, is the very short of it. But this is a trilogy with a prequel novella type book that I'm also working on at the moment that has the backstories, and I'm obsessed with the covers. These were by Arts Can Dare, and she is bloody incredible. Yeah, absolutely stunning, and they're all going to be like this. So yeah, happy to talk about marketing. It's interesting to talk about marketing because like I would say, oh, I don't know anything about marketing, but I work as an engagement professional in real life. So I'm like, well, I kind of do, but I also don't. So it's going to be a fun conversation.
Oh, that's it. I mean, a lot of people don't. Well, it's the most common thing to come up, and the people going, I hate it. Like I might start with the question. We had a question on from X from someone called well, their handle is Lost in the Trenches, and it sounded pretty, typical. It said, "What's something that actually works?" So why don't we start with that? If anyone tells me what something can answer that question, what actually works?
Social media?
Social media.
It
Yeah,
can. Yeah.
I would definitely say social media, but really the big thing I would say that works is looking at other authors who are successful and who are within your genre. Like if you do YA romantasy or if you do science fiction or fantasy, looking at other authors that are higher up on the totem pole than you and seeing what kind of things that they're doing and do your version of that. I have found a lot of success with that.
See, that's easy for you, Mark, because yours is clearly a genre. Mine are just like so multi-genre mixed that I don't know where to, um, out it.
Yeah, that is a little harder. Just trying to really like niche down into what
Yeah.
you're doing.
Yeah.
I would say like that would probably help a lot for marketing in any direction. Is just
Yeah.
knowing who you're trying to sell to and what you're trying to sell them.
That's it.
Like everybody gave their pitch here today. Knowing your pitch is great.
Yeah. Cindy, you had to.
I would have to agree with Michael that I think looking at what other people that are more experienced have to do, but I think there's an original formula for each one of us, and I don't think it's the right one to stick to all the time. I think we have to grow in our experience as marketers, and I think at the same time, how you market your book is different than how you market your brand, and you are the brand. And this is something that, you spend all this time writing this beautiful book. I mean, it gets endorsements, it gets all of this. And then, like, you put it out there and you think you've got the keywords, you think you've got the categories. And then what happens? Amazon decides to put you into a total different category without your quote permission or whatever. And then you're flailing there trying to figure out, where do you gravitate to? What do you do? And I have learned, and I'm learning in the process. I don't think you ever don't learn in marketing or writing, but to give something a chance, find the niche, like Michael was saying, find something that separates you from other YA fantasy romance writers or science fiction writers, or something that makes you unique, and then build on that idea as you move forward. And I'm not saying I have the answers. I'm just saying I've been talking to traditional authors that are on New York Times bestsellers list and other authors, and they seem to have like their own method. Like some of them even get on there, like AP Beswick. He's fantastic. But he just gets up there and he just says things, but he doesn't do much, and it's always the same thing but said in a different way. And it's just kind of like, cool. But pull at the heartstrings, that one I've learned. Catch anything emotional that you can and market it. Even your own personal dysfunctions, and people love it and flaws. But I would definitely agree with what you were saying, Michael.
Cool. Charlotte?
I've had actually a surprising experience with the whole social media side because I get decent views, but I've actually had way more success with in-person and physical books selling. Like, because I thought, oh, maybe it'll take off on Kindle Unlimited. I pulled it from Kindle Unlimited because it just didn't make much traction there. I had a lot of family and friends, obviously, initially buy it on Amazon and stuff, but getting it stocked in several local bookstores has been really huge, and just I guess the advertising side, and going in person to book events. And even like my pharmacy now has got half the staff are fans just because they struck up a conversation because I was wearing a Romantasy shirt. And now I've got two people there who are like, when's the next book coming out? When's the audiobook coming out? And like that genuine engagement, which I mean, I know I said I'm the engagement specialist, but that genuine engagement has done so much more for me than the standard marketing advice I've been given.
Mhm.
So yeah, it surprised me that physical worked, and there's this trend going back to people buying books in store now rather than just buying the ebook. And yeah, it surprised me.
Yeah, I definitely think in person's like I found a lot of success in that. We had a new bookshop open at the start of the year, and they just had a local author section launch, and they had a big night of it, and a whole bunch of authors got to speak and all that stuff. And then my book sold out on the night, and I had to run to the car and get them more. So
That's
it's like-
amazing.
Yeah.
That's
Definitely
awesome,
fun.
dude. Congratulations.
It's fantastic.
John, I just want to say your car looks a little weird. There's a fan. Oh, you're
Yeah,
out of
there's
it.
a fan. There's green paint. I'm not actually in my house. I didn't just stop into some person's house. This is I'm welcome here. This is like it's funny. I burst through the door. There's my family eating dinner, like, come join us. So I'm like, no, this podcast is more important.
John, this is great marketing.
Yeah.
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 Yes. Great marketing.
Remember.
Very memorable.
Yeah.
So you can make a short out of this.
Yes.
Yeah. Marketing is more important than family. No.
Tagline.
Yeah.
No. All right. Anyone else? Any things that you found that work?
I wanted to double down that the in-person stuff is working really well, and the in-person stuff can feed into the social media stuff too, as you like point people towards your socials and be like, hey, follow me to stay up to date on what I'm making, like for when the next book is coming out and stuff like that.
And then I also think, watching other debut authors on social media has been great for me because they're new and I've learned from them like what will work for me and what won't work for me as well. So watching other people at that stage of their writing career as well has been very helpful.
If I could add to what you guys are talking about, I totally agree with what Charlotte's saying, that in-person marketing is fantastic. And where I'm at in the United States, we're blessed to have lots of places to go. And actually, there's a group of us that are hosting an event this year in September. But I will say something that I'm learning that's really more engaging is when people see that you want to give back. And I'm thinking, like, if you lead teen workshops at libraries or social events, it seems to, not that I make any big money or anything, but it seems to build a good rapport with the community that you want to be there. And then so when you do go to local events, they're like, hey, where did I see you? And they remember that you were at this event. And then it stirs other people around them to draw attention that you're somebody that's not all about like, hey, I want to take as much as, hey, let's give, let's share ideas, let's build a network, a community, and stuff like that. And not just pushing the sales, but all of it indirectly works for you as an author and your brand and moving you forward. So I don't know, I just kind of found I've been working with some authors, and we'd partner to lead some of those teen workshops. And it just helps the community. It helps future believers and of networking and writing the craft and stuff like that. So,
Right.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I
For
just
sure.
thought I'd offer two reader perceptions. The first one I may be a little bit biased at, but by going on podcasts, I love doing this podcast, and I've met so many amazing people. But it started off as a running joke where if you come on the podcast, I will buy your book, but it's turned into a truth because I'm getting to know you as a person, and that is 90% of why I want to buy the book, and 10% of I'm going to enjoy it. And then when I read it, it turns into 100% of, of me enjoying it. I also, since starting doing this podcast, I've started listening to a lot more author podcasts, and, meeting and listening to how passionate authors can be about their book. That to me, I'm like, okay, I need to see what this is all about. I really, really do need to see what this is all about, which is why, I essentially read for like 3 or 4 hours a night, and I have such a big TBR, but I absolutely love it. The second thing is, and you guys have mentioned it, is interaction with readers. Late last year, my old man was in hospital for about a month, and a lot of the time he wasn't responsive, so I was just sitting there 8 hours a day with nothing to do except for just be there if he wakes up or needs something. So I reached out on X, and I'm like, hey, I need books. I've read pretty much everything on my TBR. Hit me up with your books. This is what I like. And I got so many responses from different authors, not only plugging their own stuff, but plugging fellow indie author stuff. And I must have bought like 50 books. And every single one that I've read is absolutely amazing. So definitely that interaction was a really positive one. And it, generated a lot of sales. I do all my reading digitally because the amount of books that I own, I would have to carry around 5 suitcases just to, even scratch the surface. So I do all my reading digitally, and then the books that really stick with me, I end up buying a copy of for my shelf. But yeah, interaction definitely. And, if you get an opportunity to go on a podcast, any podcast to do with reading, jump on, because, I guarantee you're going to get at least 1 to 2 sales, hopefully a lot more. But that's me as a reader. That's where I get that's where I find out about you guys. And therefore, as the saying goes, and it's even on a t-shirt now, I will buy your book. Like, I literally have opened up Amazon windows on all of you since we started this this episode. So yeah, definitely interaction, and go on as many podcasts as you possibly can.
Yeah. I haven't thought, but I think Michael had his hand up, so I don't know. I don't want to jump in. Okay.
He was just waving.
Go for it, John.
Oh, just waiting. Okay.
Go for it, John.
Sorry.
I'll go after you. I'll go after you.
I didn't want to step on any toes. But I just wanted to piggyback on the in-person interaction is honestly the best thing that I've noticed that has worked. I think is pretty universal for, well, I would say universal, but I would imagine for most authors that would be the same. And as a matter of fact, tomorrow, Texas time, I guess, I don't know, but on whatever Saturday is for me, I'm actually attending a Comic-Con. I have my little table, and there's a comic book convention in Waxahachie, Texas, which is in the Dallas area. You don't have to know where it is. No one's heard of it, but it's close enough to Dallas to give you a general idea. And I'm super excited because this is going to be my second convention I've done this year, and that was a goal of mine, to do in-person things, whether it's I got to do like a indie author spotlight thing at a couple of bookstores, and that took a lot of, just as I'm sure many of you know, a lot of cold emails, kind of like a numbers game. Somebody's bound to respond with something. And a lot of times, all you have to do is just ask. They may say no, some may say yes. And but in the instance of the convention, you pay money and you have to pay for your little table space. And I found one that was reasonable, and I wanted so many more gimmicks for my table, but life happened and I had to get a new car, obviously. So I'm a little bit more bare bones than I would like to be, but we have all the essentials, and I'm very excited because I have a new anthology that just came out. And so one of the reasons I'm so excited to expand on the excellent points y'all have made is that, yes, talking with people who want to be there, who are there for that reason, excited about the genre that I'm in, and also it's a great opportunity just to chat it up with people. I mean, like, I don't go in expecting to make sales. I'm the worst sales business person ever. I don't expect to make sales, because I figure, I don't really expect anything. I go in like, let me just have some good interactions and meet some cool new people. I figure that's the main goal. Won't be sad at the end when I have to like close up my table and stuff like that. But on the flip side, one more point here for social media. I feel like I am such a bad author because the last thing I want to talk about when I get on social media is my book, because there's only so many things you can talk about. And I want to hear from everybody here. I'm sure everybody's posted talking about their book, but are you like, I'm so tired of talking about my own book? Good grief. So what are other things y'all have started to talk about in your socials?
Other people's books.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Good. Okay. Sorry. This is something I'm quite passionate about, where honestly, the majority of my content on my author page isn't just about my book. It'll be, hey, what's growing in the garden this week, or some interesting recipe I've made, or like this, and promoting other brands as well, where I'll go, okay, I've got something from here and genuinely liked it. Like, I go for a more diverse approach, because whilst the marketing person I chatted with recommended doing that whole like faceless, putting a graphic out that's very similar every day, 3 times a day on TikTok, I'm like, that's just not me, and that's just exhausting. I don't want to just be a sales pitch. And I prefer learning about authors and getting to know them, whether it's behind the scenes or just their motivations. And that's what's drawn me to those authors. So I hope that in that same way, I'm going to draw other people to me who are like, oh, I'm interested about this aspect of this author's life, and oh, she's got a book. Like, I try to go that route rather than the like hard marketing, because nobody wants to feel like there's already too many ads online when you're on anyway. Nobody just wants to see it as a constant ad. I'll occasionally be like, okay, here's my book plug, please buy it, like in a very sarcastic way. But I try to make it more behind the scenes and ask questions and just generate actual engagement and conversation, which is something I'm very passionate about. I'm in a few groups for like reader groups for other authors, and it's so fun when those exist and you can all just like talk about a book you love. Like, I'm obsessed with Abigail Owen at the moment and her book The Games Gods Play, which is a romantasy with Greek god lore, which I'm really enjoying, Greek mythology and books. But all us authors just get to go on there and nerd out, and it's fantastic. And I would love to build a similar community someday, where it's all like, we're here because we all love this book, but we can also support each other and talk about a variety of topics. It doesn't have to just be about the book. And I have chronic illnesses, so I often talk about that as well. So I make it really diverse. It's, probably 1 or 2 a week is about my book, and the rest is just whatever's going on, which makes it easy to make the content when you're a time-stricken mother.
I'm the exact same. I only probably do 1 post a week about my actual book, but I do like a weekly update, and it's like titled Life as a Mum, Small Business Owner, and Author. And then I just do little snippets of my week of like how I'm handling motherhood, what I'm writing. And I find that a lot of readers, like, they want to know about your process. So I share like the process of like where I'm up to. So like, I'm currently up to editing my second part of my book, and I like share a little snippet of like my favorite part that like one of my characters have said that week. And I find that that does well, because people want to know, they like to know who the author is. They don't just want to see book covers all the time. So that's one of the posts I do a week, and I find that that does really well.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I would say like the reason there's like two big reasons that people want to watch your journey and they want to watch your process is one, with the rise of like AI and everything like that. They want to know that a human being is behind the art that they are consuming. A lot of people, that matters to them.
Yeah.
But the other thing is people just enjoy watching other people follow their dreams. They enjoy the passion that you have for creating your book, and they want to know, what is this person? What kind of person is this who actually goes out and pursues their dream? Because that's what we're all doing when we write these books. Most of us have been thinking about it for years before we finally made the leap. And other people out there have dreams that they have thought about for years. And maybe someday they'll make the leap. So they kind of have this like curious, what is this person like? How did they actually do it? So doing posts about like your process and like what kind of person you are for like, what are you doing in your everyday life is a good way to supplement and break up the post of, here's my book, buy it. Here's my book, buy it. Like that should only be like a third of your content at the most. The rest can be talking about the book community. What are you reading? What are your thoughts on books? And just things about your process in your life. What are you up to? And those are like the three things that I'd like to break them up by, because it just works really well and people don't get tired of it too much.
And do what's comfortable for you. Oh, sorry. Do what's comfortable for you. I have 2 teenage children who have told me, don't do it, don't do things, that's cringy. I ignore them and I still do it. So for example, I've done a post that there's a water dragon in my garden and like little things like that. Going out to dinner and things about my life, and then also like some sad things about my life as well, and that kind of motivated me to finish writing my book. So sharing personal things. I had quite a few responses to that post that I had. So that's what I say. Do something that's comfortable for you and don't listen to other people.
Don't listen to your kids. Got it.
Don't listen to teenagers.
Don't listen to teenagers in general.
I actually think the more raw and real you are, the better it is. And it's hard for me to get in front of the camera. I mean, to talk like this, I mean, it's like we're all in a living room and just chatting. But when you're by yourself, and to come up with stuff that's quote entertainment or something like that is kind of like, gee, what do you do? Because you pour your heart, your soul into a book, but then I'm not the type of person to dance or sing, which I don't mean to offend anybody if they are, and that's great. But that's not me. I do it by myself, but not on camera. I mean, I'm a goofball, but I started doing something called Cover Crush and Book Crush. So if I find a book that I genuinely like and I engage with, I'm going to review it and I'm going to post it. And even just a book cover that's not even in my genre, but something just like 10 foot away that's just like, wow. And this is all subjective. This is just me putting my 2 cents out there, lifting somebody else up in our industry. Because, hey, and then I'll tag them. And I've gotten really good responses because I'm like taking the time to read their book, lift them up. Now, if I get a book that I don't like, I'm not going to put anybody down, because I want somebody to give me an honest review. And if they give me a 1, I will accept it. But I'm not going to go out of my way to review a book and then put it a number 1 on my book. But I don't even use a number scale. But I think it's important to find different ways to make your brand an identity that's individualistic from everybody else's. But I definitely like what people are saying here. Don't just promote your book, but if you do promote your book, do something fun, do something like engaging that's quirky, but not always like what other people are doing. Do something that's unique to your brand.
Think outside the box. Think outside the box.
Yeah.
Oh, you said think outside
I did a
the box,
scavenger
which
hunt
could be an
today.
awesome slogan. Scavenger hunt, that's awesome. Scavenger hunt, that's awesome. What were you scavenging for?
Well, I did an interview And then I was sipping a coffee, and it was today, and I put my coffee down. I'm like working on some design that I was doing, and I'm like, oh my gosh, that's like a secret I'm going to reveal. I can't do that. And then I'm like, wait, what about finding Waldo? And I'm like, oh, what the heck? So they always say don't put the link in the narrative section, put it in the comments section. So I figured if people were smart enough that they could look, that they could see, and then they would look down in my comments section and say, hey, this is the next thing I'm writing about. But they would have to look for it. Then when you share it, and I'm not somebody big, I just try, but I shared it to other pages on Facebook and stuff like that. And then I gave them a little clue. And I had some people that kind of actually engaged a little bit. So we'll see how it goes. But it's just, I write about like National Treasure vibe, Percy Jackson and Olympians, that kind of stuff. And so that's just kind of like find that treasure or find that clue or just something that's different, And kids engage with that, even though for some reason I seem to like draw the 25 to 45 age group with my genre. I mean, I went to 34 events last year, and I think maybe a handful of kids that were YA bought my book. It's most of the older people that are engaged with that stuff.
It's like cartoons.
So,
It's like cartoons.
Yeah,
I still watch
I-
cartoons.
I read a crap load of YA stuff. So whenever people say YA, I'm 44 years old. I still consider myself a young adult, sort of. But like you mentioned Percy Jackson. I have been reading Rick Riordan's Percy Jackson, all of his stuff, for years and years, and I still read it today. It's.
Yeah.
I think the reason why a lot of the people in that age group like it is because I think we grew up when YA was kind of just coming into effect, and it was this new thing, and it's like, wow, yes, I love it. And also where kids they just have to go to school and they get to have fun with their friends and stuff, whereas we older people, we have to work and we need the escape from reality a little bit more than the kids do, I think. So that's probably why I like reading YA stuff, and why a lot of people who buy your books like reading YA stuff. So maybe that's the thing, that can be sort of part of a new marketing scheme for YA stuff. Don't just say maybe, yeah, I don't know. I love reading YA. It's just good, clean fun.
I do too, but I think the nice thing about young adult fiction is that you don't have the same parameters of the responsibility of adulting. Kids could get into a lot of trouble, and it's more fun. It's more engaging. So I know, Charlotte, you write a lot of you write for 19 and above, or that age bracket, your protagonists and stuff like that. How does that work for you? I mean, what age bracket do you see people buying your stuff, and marketing to? Is that the age group that you market to?
So my character's in her early 30s, and so is the main male character, and that's for a lot of reasons. Like I remember, this is throwback, like reading Vampire Academy as a teenager, and then in hindsight being like, oh, reading about a teenager dating an older teacher, well, not that much older, but like still an adult. And that was the norm in a lot of the books that time. I was like, I want to make sure there's different books out there for when my kids get older. So it's marketed 19 plus. I don't mind if older teens read it because I feel like I'm demonstrating a healthy relationship, which I feel like a lot of books previously didn't. But I've been surprised that like the person who is a fan at the pharmacy, she's like 19 and fresh out of school. I'm like, well, this is a mother, but I have a lot of side characters who are young adults and are going through those like, oh, I'm figuring out how to be an adult or figuring out that aspect on the side, so that if they're interested in that, it's still there. It's not just like, okay, the grown-ups are talking. Like, no, but I tend to market, I think all the way up to 40s plus. I'm trying to think how old. Yeah, it's that full range. It's mostly women, but I have had some reviews from the male relatives who've read the book and they enjoyed it too. It definitely seems to hit better with women, which would be expected. But for most people, there's a character for everyone in my book. Like there's someone with ADHD who my friend who's on the spectrum reached out, was like, that person's got ADHD, don't they? I'm like, yep, they absolutely do. And the point of those characters is for someone to resonate with you for whatever reason. But yeah, I market it mostly towards women and mostly towards late teens up to 40s.
Mm-hmm.
I think that is a big part of marketing, is just knowing who is your target audience and trying to gear your content towards them.
That's my problem. I just put QR code. I just put plain QR codes on trains now, and people buy it. It's hilarious.
There you go.
I've got a question for you guys that's related. Do any of you guys engage with like paid ads yet? Because I'm not at a stage yet where it's recommended. I've got a lot of indie authors who've suggested that once my series is either completed or almost completed, do it then on your first book. So then you've got the read through and purchase through. But do any of you guys do the paid ad side yet? And what's your experience if so?
I've done it with Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
I've done it both with my picture books, as well as I did run an ad for my romance novel once it came out. It gets views, but for me, it's never been successful.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, I've kind of now gone, no, I'm not going to waste my money on that.
Yeah, it's that hard thing of going from views to sales. That seems to be where it's like, I've got lots of views, but not many sales.
Which is crazy for me as a reader. Like some of the best books I've found are literally just doom scrolling on Instagram.
Yeah.
And I've like read like a little snippet and I'm like, oh my gosh, that book sounds so good. And then I've just like then stalked the profile and then that's how I found my books. So yeah, I was a bit surprised that I didn't get any sales from it. But then I think I only spent like $30. So it only gives you like, I think 500 or 100 views or something.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I've dipped my toes in it, but I kind of like when I was told whenever you travel to Vegas, you got to bet big to win big. I'm not willing to put too much money down on this. I'm like, I'll do like the penny slots version, and maybe you get what you pay for. I just haven't really been able to fully commit because I don't know. I just don't really trust it per se. I just know that that's a whole brand new skill set that I never went to any schooling for. I never had any proper training for this particular thing. As every author knows, you go in thinking, hey, I just want to write my cool story and share it. Then you find out, even if you hire an editor, you still have to be an editor. You have to be your own. You can hire someone to market for you. You still have to market too. You basically have like 8 full-time positions that you have to do on your off hours somehow and still sleep. So
yeah.
Writing the book is the easy part.
Yeah.
Yes.
100%.
And I'm not saying I know this, but I took Brian Cohen's. It was like $9, and it was like a 14-day Amazon ad class. And I didn't do it, but I wanted to know, is this important? Is this an advantage? And because a friend of mine really, I mean, she sells 50 to 100 books at each event she goes to, and she's leaving for Miami for a big event and stuff. So I know this stuff does work, but is it for me? I don't think so. Though, I would say things like Bargain Booksy, what is it, like Hello Kitty, those little BookBub, Red Feather, that kind of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Those things, if you're doing a launch for a book, and you could span it out over 5 days and spend maybe $100, I think people are saying that works to create a huge buzz. But then I also hear shortly after, it's like it sinks. I mean, because when you're not getting out in their newsletters and stuff like that, then it just kind of sinks. Personally, and I wish I'd have brought it. You guys know that spin wheel? Where you could spin the wheel and you could win a piece of candy, or
Yeah.
you could win a bookmark, or you could win a ebook. So if they win the ebook, you say, I have to send it to you through BookFunnel. Would you be receptive to receiving that through my newsletter? But you have to sign up. And you also say you could, and I have it written there, you could take your name off of it afterwards and all this kind of stuff. And I'm straight, very direct forward with them. If they want it and they spin the wheel, they like what they see. There, a lot of the times I've walked away with 60 emails. That newsletter is so priceless. I have people that contact me through my newsletter and ask, hey, are you going to be at this event? Are you going to be at that event? And now, is it hundreds? No. But it's enough to just say, wow, she's an author, she's alive, and you're doing something. But you take those emails and you make your newsletter personable. But then Facebook, no matter how much people put Facebook down, I don't think they should, because Facebook, I think, is a better community for authors when we can reach out to these pages and say, hey, can you do a newsletter swap with me? I will promote and give you a shout out. Will you shout out with me? And do it on a where you're making sure that if you are a closed door romance author, you're working with somebody that's closed door, not somebody that's explicit sex or vice versa. You want somebody that aligns with your values, your marketing, and all that kind of stuff. And I think that for me has been better. I also know it's slower. It's not like fast or anything, but would I love for traction to gain on my books? Yes, I would love it. But the community is really what matters. And people that know you, that will have your back, and readers that will say, hey, are you needing ARC readers? That they end up working into your alpha ARC readers. I don't know. I know that's a marketing approach that I don't think many people are taking advantage of. But I mean, I start out with spinning the wheel at book festivals. They win an ebook. I'm like direct with them and say, hey, if you want to sign up for my newsletter and stuff, and then I'll get you that free book. But I also keep my ebooks cheap. I know my paperbacks are more expensive, but I want people to not spend $4 or $5 for an indie author book. I want them to like a 99 cents or $1.99 or $2.99, because I'm new. I'm just trying to get my footing out there. And so I want them to connect with me. So, I mean, that's another approach. But if Facebook goes down, Instagram goes down, you've got your emails. You've got that connection for those newsletters.
That's a good point, because the algorithm, it may never find you again. So you have to just really go to the more reliable source.
Yeah.
And
Something that I
location.
Oh, go ahead, John.
So
Nice.
locations, I know what I'm doing now.
Something that I did want to bring up that Ryan was touching on earlier is really like the importance of podcasts. Something that I did when I was launching Crownfall is I put a digital book tour together. I contacted a ton of podcasts, this one included, and just said, hey, I'm releasing a book. This is what the book is about. Here's the cover of the book, which I have not released to the public yet. Would you be interested in hosting me for my book tour? I'm running the book tour between this date and this date, and I would love for you to be a part of it. And all it takes is just time and effort, which I know is limiting depending on what your lifestyle is, but it costs you like no money or anything like that to just reach out to these people and just go, hey, would you have me on your show to talk about books, talk about writing, maybe talk about this book that I'm about to put out? And I felt like it was wildly successful. I kind of overdid it. I did it over the span of 2 months. I had like 25 stops or something like that of just different podcasts. But because of that, you couldn't get away from Crownfall. Like if you were within the same circle as I am, you could not get away from it. People knew about it. And it's exactly it's one of those things where like it costs you nothing but time and effort. Utilize podcasts, reach out to these people, and the worst thing that happens is either they say no or you hear nothing back. And that's fine, because like people who run podcasts, this is usually their secondary or tertiary job on top of everything else that they're doing.
Yeah.
But definitely worth doing it. Even if you're releasing, it doesn't have to be a debut. If you're releasing anything, do a digital book tour. I highly suggest it.
Bloggers are great too.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And blogging is a really interesting thing, because I started mine simply because I knew other authors had one. I'm in a perpetual state of trial and error, trying to decide what I want to do consistently. And it does come back down to balance of what do I think will appeal to other people, but what also do I don't mind doing a lot. And that's very difficult, because I could talk about, listen, I'm always 2 seconds away from just like, I love the movie Highlander and the entire franchise. I can always talk about that weird fantasy movie. No one else wants to talk about that, though, at least not the way I do. So I'm like, okay, what do people actually want to talk about? And you have to take a long time to figure that out. And I'm not saying I've cracked the code, but it's definitely good to have all that to say, yes, I agree. Having a blog is nice.
Excellent. Well, we're approaching the hour mark. I don't know how much longer you guys want to go for, but I feel like we're going well. We're getting a lot of maybe we want to give some point. Like, what's something you've learned along the way that's I don't know, that you didn't expect to do as well as it did? Maybe that sort of question.
I had one recently where I was just asking for reviews. I put up a post and I just said, like, hey, I'm gonna give away some review copies of this book. If you're interested, reach out to me. And I was really surprised how many people reached out and how successful that was. Just simply ask.
Nice.
I agree with I agree with the ARC reviews. I never did that for my picture books, but it was obviously very like people said to do it for your novel. And I ummed and ahed about it. And honestly, it was the best thing I ever did, because these Bookstagram accounts, they like back you, and they make like, if they like your book, obviously, like some of the posts they did, and like they did all like authentic like backgrounds where they went to Pinterest and grabbed photos from like what like stood out in the book. It was really cool. And then like they tag you in it, and then it just gets it in front of so many readers. Like I found that was really helpful, and I'm glad I did it. The only thing I would do different with my second book is I was so nervous that people were going to be like, this is terrible. That I only did a very small group. So I maxed it out at 25 people. It was only meant to be 10.
Yeah.
And then it kind of shifted to 15 and then 20. And then I maxed it out at 25. But yeah, that was definitely something that really worked for me.
I totally agree. ARC reviewers on Bookstagram and the Book Talkers, they have been absolutely amazing. And I've just engaged in conversations with them in private messages, and they're just so supportive. And I just had this opinion from other people that, you know, TikTok was scary and social media was scary, but I've met some amazing people and they've been fantastic. And I'm in the situation now where my reviewers are now posting. They've just got the review copy, so I'm seeing the amazing videos that they're doing. But they haven't read the book yet, so we'll have to see. So I'm in your position, how you were thinking. I'm going, oh no. But yeah, they've been amazing.
I'm very lucky to be part of a group. The fellow Aussies in here, you may or may not have heard of it, called Book Bitches Down Under. And that's got a reader group, that's got an author group, and also a book business group on Facebook. And they're basically the reason I learned how to publish a book, because their wealth of knowledge is insane. They have a dedicated art group, which is so much more reliable than finding random people to give reviews, because there's no follow-up, there's no guarantee they'll give a review, whereas they do it as a fairly structured program of, okay, who can take on this book at the moment, and then they'll remind them like, hey, could you give a review, or what did you think, etc., etc. And they also have ALC, so advanced listener copy groups, because there's a few people who are audiobook experts in there. I don't know if that's like you guys have delved into yet. I'm in the works of trying to record my first book as an audiobook, because so many of my readers go, I'm sorry, I'm a mum, I only listen on audiobooks. And I'm like, you know what? I'm the same. I rarely get to sit down with a book with twin toddlers. Like my copy of what was it called? There's an indie author's book that's covered in detergent thanks to my child, because I sat down for 5 minutes. So I really can't read physical books at home. But this group has this wealth of knowledge, and they support you so much. And yeah, it's hard to find a good group of reviewers, but once you do, it's very important for your book.
The
I
book
love
that's
that
covered in
group name.
detergent, is that clean fiction?
Clean
Never mind.
fiction.
I'm sorry.
It's definitely not. It's Monster
Oh.
Smart, name. By Lex Loke, and it's a Tempting Triton. It's the second one.
It's a sign. It's a sign. It's a
Very
sign.
much not.
It needs the soap. It needs it.
That wasn't an accident.
Yeah.
Yes, a 3-year-old knew it needed cleaning, clearly.
Oh, God.
Oh, that's great. Any other final thoughts, I guess? Final thoughts.
I have a question.
Yes, shoot.
Yeah. So everybody talks about all these platforms, and some people say, join all the platforms and post on all the platforms. Then some people say, hey, no, don't post on any platforms. Don't do it at all. And then some say, just find a platform that's your niche. Laura brought up that she's on Book Talk. I'm like, I have started something there, but I'm not techie. I am not. I mean, I go to Canva and do everything from scratch, then throw it in, and it takes me like an hour to get my posts out in the morning. Yeah. And then by the time I'm done with 2 platforms, I'm like, we're done. I'd rather spend time like and engage in these groups. But what is your guys' method? Are you guys like no platforms, all platforms, or which platform?
Here's the trick. You can go on TikTok, you can make a TikTok, you can share it to Instagram, then you can share it to Facebook. So you can share it across platforms. So you make one thing.
Yeah, but you probably do that on your phone, don't you?
Yes.
You make it on your phone?
On my iPad.
Huh?
On my iPad.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it is
Well, that's smart. My thing is, though, it would go to my personal page, and then all my friends get my stuff, and they're like, what are you doing, Cindy?
Yeah. Why are you dancing with a tiny microphone?
Yeah.
Yeah. Boy, if I did that, my husband would probably wonder really what was going on.
She's lost it.
One of the, because I do the same thing with make a video on TikTok, and then once you post it, you can download it without the watermark and then share it to Instagram, etc. But what's very interesting is I post the same video, the same caption for the most part, tag the same people, and they do wildly different. And it baffled me for so long, where like TikTok, I've got 3 times the followers. Instagram, I tend to get more engagement on my chronic health issues. But yeah, it's fascinating how they perform just wildly different. And you're like, they're the same thing.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
It's weird.
It is super weird.
Yeah, each platform wants different things from you. I post on TikTok, Instagram, X, and YouTube Shorts. That's where everything goes for me. And I use a program called Poobler for scheduling those things out if I have it built up in advance. But a lot of times it's just an ad hoc, I'm going to talk into the camera about something that I'm just thinking about right now. And again, it's posted on TikTok first because you get that download. It's super easy. TikTok has like one of the best captions built into it because all the other programs don't do it as well. And they also have one of the best music libraries if you like to use that too. But then you can take that, whatever you create, and put it into the other platforms. But like my TikTok account is not doing great.
Yeah.
My X account, my Instagram account, which is using the same content, and my YouTube account, which is using the same content, those are all having steady growth. So it kind of just depends on what kind of content you make for how those audiences are going to respond to it. And you have to find what works for you. Your mileage may vary.
And it can take a while, you know.
Yeah. I seem to like Instagram and Facebook, and I do like TikTok, but I very rarely post on there. I'm very consistent on the other two, but I don't know. I'm scared of book talk.
I was for a while, and then as soon as I put the podcast on there, it started doing really well. It's just like
There are the scammers. You got to watch out.
Constant.
I
Every day.
love them. I
Every
love
day.
them so much. Hello, author.
Yes.
And I'm like, yes.
Oh, Jamie, you put up a lot of stuff about the scammers and stuff like that. That's
yeah,
really good
free
educational
content.
stuff.
I used to rate them, but now I just they come in so quickly. I'm just like, I got tired of doing it. It was like, like scammer of the day. I'm like, I could do flipping scammer of the hour if I wanted to. Now occasionally we do them on the podcast, Instagram and X, to just like, this is me responding to one because some of them are so funny. It's like, it was James Patterson, the big author that lives in Florida.
Yeah.
And I put so much effort into that reply, and he never replied. And it was like literally going, okay, where does he live? Okay, he lives here. Okay, where's a restaurant? Oh man, how are you? And yeah, you messaging me now when we only just met last week at this restaurant at this time, and then it's just like nothing.
Before I actually do have to sign off here, and I want to take this opportunity to say thank you to everybody. Thank you for having me on. And I feel like I yammer and yap too much, so I'm trying to just be quiet. If you let me go, I'll talk about nothing for hours and hours. But the only parting thought I guess I'll give on marketing is that, yes, I find that if I talk about something, obviously, if you talk about something that you're passionate about, that'll come through. And the goal that I've been trying to really focus on now is, listen, I love my book. I can't expect anybody else to just immediately love it too, right? So and I also think about, how do I use social media? What do I like? And what kind of videos do I watch? Am I buying things from TikTok all the time? Honestly, for me, no. So what am I attracted to? What do I like? And it's basically an interesting personality, if nothing else. So I'm trying to get it across, like, hopefully someone finds me entertaining enough. Maybe I've really annoyed them to the point where they engage in some point. I've tried to, so quick note, I actually lost access to my X account. I was actually hacked, and nothing really eventful happened. They just turned it into, actually, if you go on at John McBride now, I think it's a fake Keanu Reeves bot.
I saw that, yeah.
And it's kind of weird. And I shifted my attention to Threads, which I've actually really liked being on. And so X, obviously, everyone in the world, except I guess now me, uses it. It's still a fantastic tool, a fantastic platform. But I noticed for me, when I got off it, my mental health and energy was so much healthier. Because people get on X, this is the internet in general, but people get on X immediately, I'm going to be mean. Whereas it kind of depends on what you're kind of attracting to. And I was like, man, am I just bringing this on too? So once I got out of it, I was just like a happier person. And it's that I'm not downplaying X. It works great. It's just, for me personally, it had to be 4 weeks away. But I noticed that I started just really enjoying myself on the internet way more. And I've gotten a lot more interaction with people. Sometimes it's not even a lot of views, but it's a lot more comments. I'm like, as we said earlier, you can get a lot of views. That doesn't really translate to a follow. In fact, people online say follows don't even matter anymore. So I'm just like, what is the interaction I can give to an actual person? And that's kind of why these in-person things are so important. So that's, I'm still trying to figure it out. Like I said, I haven't cracked the code by any means. So but I do have to leave. It's been such a weird day, a lot of ups and downs. You caught me at like a crazy moment, but I'm happy I had the time to sit here and talk to y'all. Happy to meet all of y'all. Wish you the best, and I'll see you down the road.
Yeah. See you, John.
Have a good
Okay,
one.
bye.
See you
See
later.
ya.
All right. Now the awkward moment is I try to figure out where the leave button is. Bye, guys.
It's the red button.
Awesome. Yeah, just
Love
on
it.
that, views doesn't mean sales. I once made a throwaway post on X and it got 2 million views, Wasn't about a book, but still it was just like I didn't get many follows or anything like that. It's just it was just a random reply to someone else. And so the algorithms, I feel like it's out to get us sometimes.
Now I'm curious what you posted.
I was about AI. I saw someone talking about AI, and I just mentioned that I have a friend who is at the time was currently working on a project at his work, which was working on a program that would replace everyone that was working on the program.
Mm-hmm.
Which is like the irony of it.
Strange.
My friend was safe because he ran the team, but the rest of the people were gone.
Sheesh.
Wow.
It's just like people seem to resonate with that post for some reason.
Yeah, it's
I
very
wonder why.
anti-AI, as it should be in a creative field. The type of posts that I've found often do well. Have you guys seen the like duet style videos where you take someone
Yeah.
else? Yeah, I've had a few of those, and it's usually when I see a video which I don't agree with. And one that did really well for me was this woman who was all like, apologies, this is TMI for anyone, but who was like, "Ew, what do you mean they're mentioning that she has her period in the book?" And I'm like, why are we shaming natural bodily functions? And honestly, as a reader, I'm always like, whenever they're off on an adventure, I'm like, you gotta have pee breaks every couple hours. You've got to, what do you do if you were to get your period or have any of that stuff happen? So I included it in my book of like, not in graphic detail, but just enough to be like, oh, yep, that's relatable. That's what she's dealing with. And even I think I ended up by reading the section from my book where the main character's like, God damn it, I got my period. Like, and I think it's even House of the Dragon, the latest season. I saw there's a bit about Rhaenyra where she's like, God damn it, I've gotten my period, basically. So those duet videos do quite well, but obviously it's because you are not antagonizing, but playing off of other people's antagonistic posts potentially.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever heard of the duet.
It's like when
videos
two
or-
people are talking to back and forth to each other. It's like, hello, how are you? Have you been reading a book? Like, oh, well, I have been reading, but it's usually
No,
more intense.
what she's talking about is when you take someone else's post and your post like stitches onto it.
Oh, okay.
I probably shouldn't call it duet. It's probably called something else. But duet, like when you're doing the acting thing, that's right. But yeah, that's what I'm talking about, Michael. Where you
I think it's called
'cause you can do that
stitching.
on those apps where you can take from other videos and stitch it all together. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. No.
We're
Don't
hip with the
listen to
kids.
me.
We get
I'm
it.
old.
I don't think I've ever seen one, or at least if I have, I wouldn't recognize it.
I reckon you would. You'd look at it and go, "Oh, well, that's what you're talking about."
You'll
Because
see
that's
something
what I
later
do.
today.
You'll notice it now, yeah.
Michael Vadney's
I
going to sign
think
off
the
and
lip
make one.
sync. Yeah, I see a lot of people doing the lip sync
hmm
with their books and
Oh
stuff,
yeah,
and
yeah.
that's
Like they play a clip to something, and it's
Oh,
just like,
yes, I know what you mean.
yeah. I haven't done that.
No, I haven't either. I'm like, I don't even know how that would work. That sounds complicated.
Yeah, I do know. Let me see. And I don't like have a I know that they're doing this as a marketing tactic where you show an actual movie and then you relate it to your book within tropes. I know that that's rather successful. I think Brittany Wang does it. She's an indie author. And they repeat their posts and stuff. So, have you guys done that for marketing?
Do you know the best reel I got was I dressed my husband up as Top Gun. We had a bingo thing.
nice.
But I
Maverick.
captioned it. If you've watched Off Campus, you'll understand why I dressed him the way I did. It was something like that. That was the real hook. And I was bringing my off-campus fantasy of Dean to life. And I dressed him up as Top Gun. And that literally got like the best amount of views and I think 90 likes, which is amazing for me because I don't have a big following. So that's what worked for me. Just seeking my husband on Instagram.
Use your loved ones.
Husband thirst trap.
I mean, why not? I put my niece in the book trailer for one of my books, modeled the character off her, and that seemed to do pretty well.
I think stuff like that probably does really well because I think there's other authors, and the only reason why I share names is because I think it's important for the audience to know who does these. But even CC Warren, she's a Christian author. She comes out with Jessica, you dressed your husband up. She comes out and she looks like she's buried her husband in the backyard. Now he's in a wheelchair and stuff in real life even, and the wheels spinning, and she sits there with a knife and says, and then the caption comes along, but it's engaging. Stuff like that is really lively and fun. But I just have not convinced my husband to volunteer yet.
My husband doesn't volunteer. I just take a video when he's just in his element and then I use him.
Okay. That, Jessica, I'm going to have to try to use that on my husband. Giving me some ideas. I'll keep you posted and see. We'll get together a year from now and we'll see how many slides are up of my husband doing something corny.
There you go.
I'm probably not the only one, but another thing that kind of grabs me and will pretty much guarantee that I will buy the book is if there is really good animal characters in the book, not like anthropomorphic, even if it's just I'm a cat dad, and anything that has one of these in it, because my cats will sit beside me. There you go. That's why. Well, that's one of the reasons I love Jamie's books. But Sam Robb will know one of his books when he was on our podcast had a black cat on the front of it. He didn't even need to tell me what it was about, and I bought it because I love animals. Me and my wife, we're big animal people. We would have 1 million cats and dogs and everything if we could. But good animal sidekicks, good animal interactions in books. I would be mentioning that because I'm sure I'm not the only person that has bought a book because of an animal character in the book. I see people mentioning it on X, on Instagram, I'm not on TikTok, but anything on that, if there's an animal character in the book and the interaction is great, I'm going to be all for it because I love animals so much. So that might be another selling point. Like Jamie's put his animal sidekick character on the front of his book, and his latest book, the sequel to that, which I'm reading at the moment, the first 10 chapters, is even better because it's a dual. Sorry, am I allowed to say, Jamie?
Yeah, go for it.
It's a dual perspective between the main character and the animal sidekick, and a dual character story, and I absolutely love it. So that might be another thing to play off. If you've got good, solid animal characters in it, whether it is, like a Zootopia anamorphic, I can never say that freaking word. Or if it's just a simple animal that belongs to the main character and the interactions that they have together, to me, that's an instant sale for me. And I'm sure I'm not the only one.
Yeah, there is an author named Michael D. Melwassel who writes this modern urban fantasy kind of mix. And his pitch when he goes to cons and stuff like that is there is a dog companion in my book, and he is the only one with plot armor. No one else is safe, but the dog will always make it.
There we go. Done. I'm in. I'm in. I should preface that. As long as the animal lives, I'm cool with it. I have to. I was one of the hundreds of thousands of people before that horror movie Good Boy, where the dog was the main star. They Googled it to make sure that it lived before I watched it. The animal needs to live. I will say that, or die heroically. Saving the world or something like that. I'm okay with sacrifice, but it can't just be. You can't just have an animal in there just for the sake of killing it. That's a no for me.
Yeah.
On the note of,
I actually worked my real life dog into my story.
Aww.
Yep, but I will definitely buy that.
He's 80 pounds. His
you
name's
can
Tesla.
print money by using animals. Seriously.
Yeah.
It's not my
I
first.
think the more you could write about your own world is better. But I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut
No,
you
it's
off.
all good. It's not my first book, but in the book I'm currently writing, there's been a couple of horses that I've like, oh, I better give them a name and stuff. And then one of my mates is a horse girl, but sadly they had to put a horse down recently because he got like a leg injury and the infection they couldn't get on top of. And so I messaged her, was like, hey, can I just like, do you want me to put the horse in the book? Like, is that cool with you? And she was very keen. So Frankie is ironically that horse already was having like a leg injury that they were recovering from. But yeah, that's probably going to be one on market of like, this is based off the real animal, but actually he survived in the book and he gets to go off and do his farm business and, you know, not, yeah, he can go live in that world now because he's no longer in this one. But yeah, Frankie the horse.
Yeah, that'll sell me the book too, because that makes me sad, and I'm like, I need to know how this horse, goes on. I'm still like, I didn't even cry on my wedding day, but if an animal that I don't know gets hit and something happens to it, I will be bawling my eyes out.
And like I've said to quite a few people, because they go, okay, so the mother's separated from her children in this book, and I've made it very clear the twins are safe, they're in the care of the aunt. You'll see snippets, and I'm like, the twins have plot armor, and I have to say this a lot, but I'm also like, I'm a twin mom. I'm not going to kill off a twin, but bloody Rebecca Yarros does something like that in the last letter, and I've been warned off that book. But I have a gripe as a twin mom where like J.K. Rowling and I think Rebecca Yarros and a few other people, they're just like, oh, we'll just kill off a twin. I'm like, no, it's not just killing off a twin. You have no idea how sacred that bond is. Like, you don't just like act like the twin's a spare character. Like, no, thank you. Kill the spare.
Just speaking as a twin.
Yeah, nice.
Don't
no.
Coffee.
No, I'm just like, what is wrong? Like, don't, no. I'm like, the kids are safe.
The kids are safe.
I'm not gonna do that. God.
I think another great thing to do is because we've spoken a lot about community, like indie author community. I know a lot of people, and I've done it. Put fellow authors into their books.
Mm-hmm.
I know Mike Mollman does it. Apparently, I'm going to get murdered in his next book. Apparently, but I put 13 authors. Sorry, Michael Vadney and you guys. I didn't know you at that time, so I would have put you in there. Next one. And it's just such a cool thing because then it's like bingo cards. Like people are reading through. Oh, there I am.
Mm-hmm.
If you read through Mushroom Blues by Adrian M. Gibson, he does something similar where he puts other authors into the music in his story. Or it's not just characters, it's not straight up. It's just like the songs, the names of the bands, and the songs that they play are references to other indie novels that he knows the people of.
Nice.
That's cool.
I love things like that too as a reader. Yeah, knowing, obviously the authors that Jamie put in his book, I knew because we've interviewed them and become friends with.
Yeah.
And as a reader, I was reading it. Oh yeah, I know that. I know them. I know that. And just knowing them and the roles that they got put into, and how sometimes similar or how completely opposite they were. It's a cool kick. I love things like that as a reader as well. And I'm sure, a lot more authors should do that as well. I think that'd be pretty cool.
Cool. All right,
I
guys.
think something else. Sorry.
No, yeah.
I think something else that sells is the caricature art that's related to your book series. I think that is a very good marketing tool because you make these cards, they're bigger than bookmarks even, and people seem like they want that. They want that picture of that mythical creature. They just want to know what you're doing within that world, something that relates to that's engaging. And I think that's something that is,
I love
yes, exactly, Ryan, exactly. And I mean, I'll keep all of that stuff that I get from other authors because I use it as a reference source, but I don't know. I just think it's really cool that authors do take that time to get the character art related to that series. I think you could go a little crazy on it. You don't want to go in debt, but I mean, I think it's important, and you're lifting up another industry, of illustrators and stuff like that, even though I hire my daughter. Um,
I love
but
that. I love that you said that, because I've got a couple of friends who are art teachers, and I've asked them to create some art around my book. So I hope they're listening into this and they can make that for my book. So thank you.
Those little cards, I've got a fair few of them. I get them because since discovering Kickstarter, have supported a whole bunch of indie authors, and I recently got Easton J. Thompson's
Oh, cool, yeah.
physical copy of Songs of the Broken. It's a tome. It's like 750 pages, but
Whoa.
one of the goals was, if you wanted to go to the next level, you get these art cards, and it was an extra $10, and they are gorgeous. Like, they are absolutely to the point where I'm going to laminate them and have them so that they don't get damaged or anything like that, and put them up on a bookshelf that I've got coming. They're just, I think it's such it gives the world an extra viewpoint. Like, his book has got illustrations in it at the beginning of every chapter, and these awesome cards that came with it. It just brings the story to life that much more. For people like me who are collectors and stuff, I will always jump on that. I think it's a great extra to have.
one thing we haven't discussed is, in essence, the way to keep yourself still going, still keep a author's career going, is to consistently write. That is your best marketing tool. It's your book, because that's what your brand is built off of, in essence, not just your face or whatever. But and I mean, I'm not a prolific writer. I'm not. I put my family first. That for me is priority. But I do give a really good, serious effort to keep my writing and keep a schedule and intentional writing. But I really I think probably right there up at the top, if I had to rate something, it was make sure you're writing and make sure you're sharing what you're writing. And I'm just like learning that as the learning curve. And all the ways that we've discussed how you're writing, but keep people engaged with your current work as you're trying to also market the next book that's coming out.
Yep.
My goal is to write a book every year and a half. That's my goal, and I've been good at it, but still, it's not easy.
No, it's not. No, well, I do that with while I'm writing the sequel to my last book. I always update every couple thousand words, 5,000 words, and I write a little quote of what I've written, not spoiling the plot or anything, but like, just this is kind of what you're in for. And I think they do pretty well. They get a lot of shares, but 100%. It's a constant thing you got to keep doing.
Yep. All
right. Well, guys, thank you for joining us. It has been almost an hour and a half, but it's been an hour and a half of greatness. What we're going to do is we're going to go round the room again, and you guys can plug what you want to plug. Tell our listeners and viewers where they can stay up to date with what you're doing. We'll start with Charlotte.
Alrighty, thank you. So once again, I have my debut book, Heart of the Human, out at the moment. I'm working on the novella and book 2 at the moment. If you sign up to the newsletter, you'll get sneak peeks of the cover for the novella. It's stunning. I highly recommend. And I'm on Instagram and TikTok under author CK Scott. Follow along for the shenanigans, which is truly a representative word for my account.
Excellent. Jessica.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me. This is my book, Playing Fake, which is available on Amazon and my website. And you can find me on Instagram at jessica.martini.author. And I am on TikTok, but I don't use it very often. So if you want to know what's going on, then yeah, Instagram's where you'll find all the updates.
Amazing. Michael Vadney.
Hey, folks. Michael Vadney. I am author of Crownfall, this noble dark fantasy adventure. You can find it on Amazon, wherever books are sold, or at my website, michaelvadney.com. I am working on a few anthologies right now. Very excited to get them out, and I'll be updating all of my socials with how that's progressing. You can find me on all of them at Michael_Vadney.
Amazing. Cindy.
I guess I should have grabbed these, but they've been behind me. But this is book one. This is The Theron Secrets Beneath Scars. I do like my emotional book covers, and this one just came out this year. This is The Theron's Legends Never Die. And you could find these on Amazon, some independent bookstores. But I don't know. My book series is a dual world trilogy, and if you want to learn more about it, you could check it out at www.cindybreck.com. In addition, I am on Instagram and Facebook, and Legends Never Die. Legends Miss Lies, excuse me, is my newsletter, and I do have quite periodically some people that reach out to me through there, so I'm definitely contactable. But yeah, that's where you could find me.
Amazing. Bring us home, Laura. Bring us home.
My young adult novel, The Wall Within, is published by Hawkeye Publishing. It's currently on pre-orders at the moment and is being released. The official release is 12th of September of this year. I have a book launch at Canteen Kitchen and Bar at Coolum Beach on Sunday the 13th of September, and one in Brisbane at Where the Wild Things Are at West End on Monday the 21st of September. I'm called Laura Morris Ryder on Instagram, TikTok and Facebook, and I'd love if you'd go on to Goodreads and mark my book as Want to Read as well. That would be fantastic and very supportive. Thank you.
Awesome. Awesome. Great pictures there, guys. It's like you've had a lot of practice with this thing before. But thanks again for joining us. And guys, please check out all these wonderful authors. Their links will be down in the show notes. Maybe I should plug my
Why not?
We're All Talking Books and
Probably
Cora and Chorus. It's a sci-fi dystopian set in the Blue Mountains 300 years from now, pretty much. It's what I call if the road had a little bit of hope in it, you know. So it's a bleak, dark world. It is. People call it YA. I didn't know what it was, but some people read it and said, "Well, it's not graphic or no language, but it's a. I'd like to say fun, but it's a dark world of adventure and hope." So sequel coming soon. But apart from that, guys, if you want to reach out, thetrueandthefictional@gmail.com. Check out our sponsor, Rebecca Castles, our honorary sponsors, Janelle Schiecke and Alexander Robb. All the links are down below. Buy some merch. Buy both Ryan's shirts. He's got a few shirts that are all about living the dream, and he will buy your book on the screen. But guys, until next time, keep supporting those indie authors, and we'll catch you on the next episode.
Thank you. Thanks, Jimmy. Thanks, Ryan.